Madam Speaker, we thought Justin Trudeau ran things like Fidel Castro, but this Prime Minister said, hold my champagne.
Canada's broken, and Canada's broken because we're stupid, okay? Canada's broken because we're stupid.
When Canadians are screaming that there's no democracy happening under these Liberals, the Prime Minister says, who cares?
Question? Who cares? I mean, it's a detail. It's a detail.
Minister, respectfully, I'll assume that that pipelines are not in the national interest, according to your government. I'll move on. The job-killing oil and gas cap that your government has put on, do you know how many jobs it's going to kill?
Gang, what's up? Aaron here, Canadian Looney. Smash that like, hit subscribe. Let's get straight into the video. Canadian federal politics are absurd. Let's kick it off.
Minister, are pipelines in the national interest of the country, yes or no?
Pardon me?
Are pipelines in the national interest of the country, yes or no?
So as I answered in the last one, we have a Build Canada Act that sets out a process and criteria for deciding.
Does that mean, I heard your answer from before, which was a non-answer. This is a very clear question. Are pipelines in the national interest of the country? It's a simple yes or no.
It's not a simple question that you're asking, because you're asking a question. I mean, my answer is quite simple as well. We have a Build Canada Act that sets out criteria.
Respectfully, it's not an answer. So let's put this into context, Minister. The Keystone Pipeline, would you support it? Yes or no?
That's not a decision that I have before me. So what we've been talking about when we're talking about projects in national interest.
The decision could possibly come up very shortly. Would you support the Keystone XL pipeline, yes or no?
I'm not going to answer a hypothetical. I will say that we have a process to decide which projects are in the national interest. That's what Canadians want from us.
So would pipelines fall under a project of national interest?
If there is a project that meets the 5 criteria, has Indigenous
would that include
consultation.
pipelines? I've not heard you say pipeline even once today.
What I'm saying is that there are many different kinds of projects that are being proposed as projects of national interest. It's really an exciting time, actually, for Canada to be able to envision what our future can look like.
And if one of those projects happened to be oil and gas pipelines, would that be something your government would support, yes or no?
Again, it's a hypothetical until there's a fully designed project that's being put forward that has gone through Indigenous consultation.
So, given that, your track record said otherwise, because when the Northern Gateway Pipeline was before your cabinet table, your government's cabinet table, it had overwhelming support from Indigenous communities, and yet your government and at the cabinet table decided to cancel that project. So it's a little hard for us to believe that your government now has a change of heart that wants to somehow build projects that would be to the benefit of Canada, when your government has also turned away our allies when they came here for our energy. So once again, would your government be in support of an oil and gas pipeline if it's in the national interest and before you today?
And what I'm saying is I can't provide you with an evaluation of a hypothetical. What I can tell you is that I believe Canadians would be happy to see that there's a very clear process with very clear criteria on which to judge it.
It's very interesting that you avoid the word pipeline and will not answer the question. It makes it very clear that you are against pipelines and oil and gas.
Projects we can build.
Minister, would you support the constitutional power of the federal government to ensure interprovincial resource projects that are in the national interest to be built?
Point of order. I'm sorry, Chair. Just the line of questioning doesn't have anything to do with the bill that we're contemplating here at C4. I know that you've allowed a lot of latitude for members, but it's just continuous. It doesn't seem to have any relation to the consumer carbon tax, which is being repealed here, which is what the Conservatives always wanted. It's like a dream come true for them.
Turnbull, Mr. Kelly, on the same point of order.
The witness has engaged on this line of questioning, so it has become part of the substance of it, and it's consistent with other testimony.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly. Mr. Hallan?
My question stands. We see BC is holding hostage what's in the national interest for the country's betterment in the form of a pipeline. Do you support the constitutional power that the federal government has to ensure that that national interest project is built?
Like I said, that's, again, there's a process to be followed when we're looking at what is a project of national interest. There are many different kinds of projects, and I was excited when you see that there were 5 projects
Minister,
that were
respectfully,
referred
I'll
to
assume that pipelines are not in the national interest according to your government. I'll move on. The job-killing oil and gas cap that your government has put on, do you know how many jobs it's going to kill?
So when we're talking about the draft regulations for an oil and gas cap, there was a draft regulation that was tabled at the end of last year. It went through
What's
a
the number,
consultation
Minister? How many
period.
jobs will be lost with this oil and gas cap?
Mr. Turnbull, point of order.
Chair, I just want to ask if maybe the member couldn't speak over the witness. I know that the minister is trying to answer his questions. He's done that repeatedly, and
She won't answer.
and the interpreters often find that very hard to interpret. So it's even hard for us to hear what's going on, especially if you're a French language speaker and you want to hear the translation. It's hard to make out what's being said.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Turnbull. I'll just remind all members that for the sake of interpretation, that we don't speak over each other. Thank you very much.
Well,
Mr. Hallan?
the minister refuses to answer any questions. So it's over 100,000 jobs your oil and gas cap will kill, and it'll kill around $1 trillion. And we've seen over the last 10 years, your government drove away $500 billion of investment already because of bills like Bill C-69, this oil and gas cap, your industrial carbon tax.
Point of order,
Minister,
Chair.
Thank you, Mr.
I'm
Mr.
sorry to
Turnbull.
interrupt again, but we're moving to clause by clause. I believe it's in our next meeting, and the member's not asking any questions that are relevant to the bill in question. C4 is a bill that includes repealing the consumer carbon tax, which doesn't have anything to do with what the member is asking about.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Turnbull. Mr. Kelly and then Mr. Gahan on the same point of order.
The member is burning the minister's time. The member can ask whatever questions he wants that she is engaged on, and she is engaged on this line of questions.
Mr. Kelly, Monsieur Gahan.
Well, Madame la Présidente, je comprends que
Madam Chair, I understand what we're trying to do here is to defend the minister. She's very able to defend herself. I'm okay to give some latitude because there is the question of abolishing the carbon credit tax, rather, to the consumer. Now, from the point where we have to go article by article, item by item, we have to know what the government's intentions are on so-called major projects, infrastructure, etc. How can we decide on C4 when it is so complex, and we have to look at each and every part of it? Now, we should the minister's doing a very good job of answering the questions today when she's given the opportunity to do so.
carbon tax question, Minister. The carbon tax 2.0, that has no rebate, which you hid under this name, Clean Fuel Standard. Can you please let this committee know and Canadians know how much extra on top of a litre of gas that Clean Fuel Standard or carbon tax 2.0 will cost them?
First, I want to be really clear that the clean fuel regulations are not a carbon tax, and it does drive billions of dollars in innovation.
It also drives billions of dollars away from Canada.
I was continuing to answer the question. It sets us up for a strong low-carbon economy.
How much
It creates
extra per
jobs.
litre will it cost Canadians on a litre of gas by 2030? Just the number, please.
So one thing that I find interesting is just because you keep referring to it as a tax, and I want to be clear
Minister,
about that.
since you're
So
not going
why
to
don't
answer...
I actually
Mr.
would like to
Turnbull, on a
tell
point of
you
order.
something about what the canola...
Sorry, Mr. Turnbull on a point of order.
I know the minister's doing a great job of answering or trying to answer, but Mr. Hallan will not let her actually get her words out. It would be really nice if we could hear
Thank
the
you,
answer,
Mr. Turnbull.
Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Turnbull.
I
Mr.
haven't heard a
Hallan,
single
you can
answer today,
continue.
so I'll answer. According to the PBO, it'll add 17
Sorry, Mr.
cents.
Hallan, your time is up. Thank you. So going on to Mr.
Canadian federal politics are absurd. My name's Aaron. This is Canadian Looney. If you've enjoyed our video, smash the like, hit subscribe. That is it. Thank you all so much for watching. Get your Canadian federal politics right here. Ciao for now, gang. Catch you in the next one.